A horrible start. He was screaming in horror, short horror movie, snuff movie maybe. So I was thinking that now that we have this pandemic and hospitality business, as they call it today, is down. So if this were to happen 30 years ago, 35 years ago, I wouldn't be where I am today, in the sense that I wouldn't be doing travels and tours, which is what I guess we called hospitality back then. As it was, this was a profitable turn of events, change of things, because I mentioned I decided, was it halfway? I guess it was before half. It's in the first quarter of the game. Second, third year of university, that geology, geophysics will not work for me. Well, not that it worked for other people. I mentioned that we saw them in our practice, in our descent in the field, trips to see how how real engineers work were doing, that they weren't doing much, if anything, in some places, because of priorities of the idiot ruling the country. He had the agrarian revolution at that time in mind. So it's true that years later we would see that quite a number of those who graduated with me or a little before me would make lots of money because they worked in the oil business mainly. And if they accepted jobs in, I don't know, in the harsh wild regions of Canada or in Angola or in, I don't know, Bangladesh. I don't know if Bangladesh has oil actually, but I'm just saying, if they accepted living in conditions of austerity, to say the least, they would get many, many thousands of dollars per month. Big salaries. I'm sorry. In fact, they met, is it 5 days ago or recently, a few days ago? Oh, bă, mănânc dacă mai ești tâmpit. Du-te la el. So they met in the mountains and, well, they exchanged emails and invited me, but it was the generation I graduated with. I didn't start with them, and as I said, I interrupted 1 year for medical reasons, and I stopped 2 years doing any studying, so to say, only to finish with a new generation. But with that new generation, I had very little, if anything, in common. I didn't know that. I met them very briefly. So that's when I met Socrates. I'm again anticipating, but I'm moving back and forth with this timeline. My present partner, he was a member of the new generation, and we started doing some things together, and we would have a relationship, sort of friendship, which would last up to this day, unless he has decided something decisive in the last few days, and who knows, or maybe past few months or years, and I am not aware, and he's preparing, he's cooking something, a scheme to let me out in the cold, as some people say. He might. It's debatable, and some of those episodes dedicated to him and this connection might look at this and see what we find out, if we find out the truth, if something happens in between. But terminăm, măgarule. Let's move back in time, so to say, and look at this business, this career of mine, which is not much to speak of, if anything. Again, sometimes it's dismissed. Well, at other times I'm thinking, well, it brought some good money. This money was invested. The company Algernon brought goodies. We'll see how long, but then if we look around, there are others, bigger fish, that have trouble. I mentioned, tourist business, hotel chains, and so on. Everybody's in trouble to some extent. We'll see. So, I also said in the Slanik Moldova mini-series that they tended to send me to the word I was going to use was lousiest places. Băi, te aud dacă faci așa. That's not the word. In fact, I even entitled one of the first Slanik Moldova episode a place boring, considered boring, but coveted now. Once in a while, I would so much love to say goodbye to this crazy fool and not see him for a long time, 62 years maybe, and travel to Slanik Moldova, to Tushnat, well, I would rather take Tushnat over Slanik Moldova, but that will be fine with the forest, mountains. I don't remember much of the scenery, but I know there was some. And the peace, the quiet, the silence, the absence of this in particular, he can be a pain once in a while, but less than this. This is the bad guy. This is a good guy. So, yeah. Calimanesti, that was something. They sent me there, but that was, in the end, that turned out to be such an exquisite place. With a sort of a love story, no less. Yeah, let me get into that. Started, and then see if I can. I find things to return to. If I'm not moving too far ahead now from the original starting point with Nikki, but we'll see if other things come to mind. I can return anytime. Plus, maybe it's already too much, too long. It's not all to say, but still. And judging, to make that too much used joke, judging on the audience, it's not really so exciting as it is. So let's distill and compact. So there was Nikki in Kostinești, one of those places where I was sent to take care of Jewish clients, Jewish people coming to the country and using spas for treatment. And in this case, I had visitors to pay bills for, take care of, so to say. I mean, see them, ask if they have problems, issues with the restaurant, the hotel, the spa, the clinic, which was offering some services, massage. I know I tried some of those things at one point. In Herculane, Tushnat too. So then I would try to mediate, is not the word, but try and help somehow, see if I can fix something for them. So there was Nikki, dark, slim, wild, beautiful, with zest, very vibrant woman, very with joie de vivre, with passion for life, with an energy, determination that were extraordinary. One of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. Perhaps with Nicole, it just happened as a coincidence. I met the two most beautiful, maybe, probably, surely one of the most beautiful, at about the same time, one after the other. And they were both Nicolette. One was Nikki, and one was Nicole. And Nicole was in Calimanesti, Termina. And we'll continue with that tomorrow, inshallah.